It's snowing.
Hi everyone, it's Maya and welcome back to my crib. It's currently snowing outside, so that's pretty cool, and it's like a cozy day. So I thought what a better day than today to make some YouTube content. Yay! I was in class with this amazing professor who showed me like the stupidest little thing. Hello? Like a couple like little like workflow tips, and I was like, this would make a great video because there's all of these like tiny little details that people never like all know all together. So if we just kind of pool our key command workflow tip knowledge, we can all just live it up. So today I'm gonna bring to you guys a few of my tips and tricks for like being a speedy editor in Logic and just like not worrying about what you're clicking on, just worrying about what you're editing and what you're doing and how it sounds. So here we go. Start off with something that it seems like so dumb, but like, you know how annoying it is when you have to like go up here to the tools and like change your tool if you want to like rename a region or something. Maybe this region, I want to like rename it and I have to like go up here and grab like my text tool. There's a couple different options. One of them is I can turn my right click menu into not only these, you know, add region options, but also to a tools option, right? So how I can do that is I can go to my preferences and I can go to editing. So I'm in general preferences and editing, and then there's this little thing that says the right mouse button during editing, and there's these options. You can open the tools menu, open the shortcuts menu, or open a tool shortcut. You can also assign it to a tool, but I don't really want to do that. I don't know why anyone would want to do that. So I put opens tool and shortcut menu. So now when I right click, I get all the tools and I get this menu. The other thing that you can do is you can press T and just press T once, and that brings up the tools menu. So now I can click on the text tool and yeah, gang, right? So now I can rename that region. And it's really cool. Okay, so now I'm back to my pointer tool, right? And I need to talk about workflow, editing and editing. I need to talk about editing workflow when it comes to using the MARQUEE tool, because that is literally the MVP. So I'm gonna zoom in to this guitar. Where's the guitar? Yeah, so my boyfriend recorded some guitar. You can hear it right here. Let's solo these. Here's the guitar. So there's a couple of things maybe if I was editing this that I might want to zoom in on here and check out. Like maybe this transient comes a little bit early and I might want to move it over, right? So the MARQUEE tool is I have on my command click tool. Always pay attention about what's on your command click tool. You can set this to any of the tools, and when you press command and hold command down, your cursor becomes that tool. So now it's the MARQUEE tool. The MARQUEE tool can do so much, and I recommend you check out like some sort of blog post on it because it's insane. But basically, when I click and drag with the MARQUEE tool, I can select a region, and there's a couple things I can do. I can click on the region and it will split. I can drag the region and it will split. And I can also just use it as a double click, right? So I can just double click and split that region, right? I could go closer, and it will normally split on the grid, but I can get pretty close if I zoom in a bit, right? So now I can move that region over. I can do that with this one too, which I probably, honestly, would probably want to do it like this. Like I would probably want to select just this part and bring it over a tiny bit and do that again. And now hopefully they're all together. Yeah, that sounds better. Now the other thing that's kind of in the same realm as this, so you guys probably know option drag, which is where you hold down option and you drag and it actually makes another clip. Like right there, I just added a new clip. But if you want to turn it to, if you want to unsnap it to grid, like you can do it in the opposite way. When I press Command G, it turns it on. And then when I press Command G again, it turns it off. So like right now, nothing's gonna snap, right? But then when I Command G, I can make sure this is snapped. So that's kind of cool. Like you can use that Command G feature to turn on and off the snap to grid. But that's just like a cool workflow thing. Like, oh my god, I want to turn the grid off. Command G, the grid's off. Command G, the grid's on. And then whatever was the last one you chose as your snap to grid, like as your snapping function is what will change, right? So that's kind of cool, especially in this sense where like I'm trying to line these transients up a lot. So I can just, you know, I can use my marquee tool and then the grid is off and now they're lined up. But this one's not lined up. Okay. So now say, oh my god, like this is perfect. I can Command J and join this. It's going to create a new audio region. And now that audio region is, you know, this transient's in the right place now, right? So I can do that with all of these. If I Command J multiple at a time, it's actually going to bounce it down into one, like join it into one track. Not really bounce because it's not going to add effects to it, I don't think, but I never do that because honestly, why would you do that? So if we're talking about workflow, the kind of second area to talk about is like screen sets. So I actually never really use this in Logic, but I use it so much when I'm doing video editing, like in Premiere Pro. I set up what they call screen sets. So one is like my editing screen set, one is like my effects preset, one is like my graphics preset, or they call it screen sets. So then I can go ahead and like manipulate and just press a quick button and it changes how my screen looks. So I didn't even, like I knew you could do this, but I never really did it in Logic, and so yeah, you can. So that's pretty cool. So if I go over here to this button that says 1, then it gets up this little menu. Like it's kind of confusing, like what is this 1? Like what? And this is where you can start making your screen sets. So right now this screen set is being referred to as number 1. So if I go ahead and duplicate that screen set and name it, you know, whatever, 2. Now this is 2, right? The next thing that I do is gonna like, it's hard to explain. I can lock screen set 2, right? So say I make the screen how I want it to be, right? So like maybe number 2 I'm gonna rename to my editing, right? So maybe for editing I want the inspector window open and I want my tracks to be a little bit like more condensed, my track titles, right? So this is what I want to come up. Maybe I want to be a little more zoomed out. This is what I want to come up when I click on the 2 on my keyboard, so I can press lock. Now that's locked, so whenever I press 2, it's gonna come to this exact screen set, right? Everything's gonna be the same. Even if I change it around, then go back to 1 and then go back to 2, it's the same exact thing when I lock it, right? So that's kind of cool, right? So even like if you just wanna like play around with 2 and then press 2 again and go back to a specific spot, like a specific view, super easy, right? So then say I go back to 1 and I wanna change 1. Right now it says 1 there, right? So say I want 1 to be my mixer window open here, right? Or I could even say, open the mixer, which I forgot was Command 2. Say on this monitor here, I want my mixer to be open on full screen. And on my other monitor, I want, you know, what you're seeing with me, I want it to be my notes to be open or something. Or maybe I even want to have 2 mixer windows. Whoops. Maybe I want to have this mixer window be MIDI tracks, right? And this window be audio tracks and buses. Or maybe this window just be buses. Then I can press, then I can lock number 1, right? Lock 1, and I'm gonna rename this to mixer view. And now when I go back to 2, I'm back to 2, and when I go back to 1, I'm back to 1. So that's really awesome, and that's a workflow thing that I think is super duper like helpful when you just like, oh, I gotta like move all this stuff, I gotta press P for piano roll and this and that. You can just make 3 screen sets. You can just make a mixing, editing, and piano roll editing screen set and you're good. You know what I mean? So definitely use that, I would say. Okay, so let's talk about using the notes in Logic. I'm smiling because I love this feature so much. I mean, you know it's there. It's just this little notepad, right? But you can put notes on every track and you can put notes for the project. So this, I actually wrote the verse to this song in the notes, right? But you can actually go in here and change the font, the color. You can change the color if you want it to be red, right? Like you can write unlimited notes in the side here. And that's super helpful because like, especially if your computer's working really hard, like mine is right now like screaming, it's like so hot. Not hot, it's just the fan is working really hard. You don't have to have another window open if you just want to type some notes down. You can go back and copy them over to wherever you need to. Or if you're sending the project to someone, you can save the project with this open. So right when they open the project, they can see the notes you wrote. You can be like, hey, so-and-so, these are my notes, please check them out, and make it giant text in all caps. So I say use your notes because when we're talking about workflow, if you want to remember something and jot something down, like, use your notes. Ableton doesn't have this. I was able to get a third-party plugin that like allows notes, but it's not as intuitive as Logic, so yeah. I don't know if there's a way to pop this window out though. Maybe I might be wrong, but I've never been able to figure out how to do that. Like, you can't just drag the notes window out to another window if you wanted to. I don't know why you would. I mean, I guess you might want a floaty notes window, I don't know. And then the last thing I kind of want to just mention is just like, you know, like working with tools in general when you're editing. You don't, like, there's this idea, I think sometimes, that like you have to use specific tools for specific things, right? And that's not true. So like if I wanted to cut this region, if I wanted to split this region, there's like 5 ways to do this. I can put my thing here, I can Command T and it split the region, right? I can use my Marquee tool as my command tool and I can split the region. I can go to my scissor tool. Where the hell is the scissor tool? And I can split this with my scissor tool. So like, I think the most like important thing to remember is like pick your 2 tools and kind of try to stick with them, right? The only tool I really go to besides the scissor tool and the Marquee tool is the pencil tool, but I keep that pencil tool in my piano roll editor at all times. You can see right here, my command tool in the piano editor is different than this one, and that's actually possible. So like, I don't need my Marquee tool in the piano roll, but I do need it in I don't need my pencil tool in the track editor, but I do need it in the piano roll, right? So I just keep that there, right? And I keep my pointer tool because I don't want to accidentally be doing things, right? So I mean, I keep my Marquee tool. Maybe you don't need the fade tool if you have advanced tools turned on. But maybe you keep the glue tool. Maybe you're one of the people that likes all of your regions to be one all the time. So you just glue things, right? Maybe you just glue. I don't even know how to glue, right? I guess that's how you glue. Yeah, I don't even use the glue tool. Why would you not just Command J for that? I don't really know, but maybe you have one tool that's very important to you. I don't know. But stick to those tools and then learn the key commands to do the other things you want to do. Like if I wanted to mute this, Option M, and now they're all muted. Oh, that was tracks. I think maybe it's Control M? Yeah, Control M mutes regions. Option M mutes tracks that are selected. So yeah. So I would say that's a pretty good video of random shit to do when you're editing in Logic, but this is just like Maya's workflow tips of the day, so hope you enjoyed it, honestly. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what, I just got sidetracked by something. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.